please rise for the entrance of the graduating class and posting of colors.
Yes. Post the colors. Detail. Oh. Ready. Thanks. Ready. Set. Dress. Cut. Ready. Set. On.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. On. Left. Right. Forward. On.
Please be seated. Excuse me. Thank you, the Coeur d'Alene Pipes and Drums, for piping the opening ceremony, and the honor guard made up of the Idaho State Police, the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, and the Coeur d'Alene Police Department, the Post Falls Police Department, and the Rathdrum Police Department. Good afternoon. I'm Fred Swanson. I'm the instructor coordinator for the North Idaho College Peace Officer Standards and Training Basic Patrol Academy. It has been my privilege and honor to work with this class, class number N0117, as each individual begins their newly chosen career in law enforcement, and it's no small undertaking. Welcome to the friends, family, and distinguished guests of the graduates of this class, and we are here to commemorate the graduates' accomplishments. You guests are welcome to come forward to take pictures during the presentation of certificates and awards. Please join me in welcoming the special guests at the head table. To my right, from your right to left, are President McLennan, President, North Idaho College; Lita Burns, Vice President of Instruction, North Idaho College; Cassie Silvis, Dean, Career, Technical, and Workforce Education, Career and Technical Education, North Idaho College; Sue Shibley, Division Chair, Division and Professional Programs, North Idaho College; Mark McWhorter, Chaplin, Post Falls Police Department; and Judge Peterson, Magistrate, Kootenai County. Thank you for coming. Special thank you to Gabe Grover, our administrative assistant. I get in trouble for doing this. She's over there in the corner. She's been invaluable assistance in keeping me straight, keeping me in line, especially as we get busier towards the graduation, the end of the academy. There's a lot to do, so thank you. Law Enforcement Advisory Committee, Sheriff Wolfinger was not able to be here, nor was Chief Hogue. Chief White is here on the advisory committee, and standing in for Sheriff Wolfinger is Kim Edmondson with the Major with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Skiles from Latah County are here as well. Thank you for coming. And also thank you to the North Idaho College staff. Without their support and reinforcement, it would be very difficult to make this happen. We need to give a huge thank you to all the dedicated and professional instructors who have enthusiastically shared their knowledge, expertise, and experience with this class. Without the dedicated cadre of instructors who massage their own busy schedules to accommodate the academy schedule to teach, this program would not be successful. The instructors are the backbone of the program, many of them standing in the back of the room. Thank you very much. And with that, thank you to the various agencies that allow them and provide their time to the instructors so that they may share the knowledge with the students. Also, thank you to the numerous role players, some as young as 10 years of age, who generously give their time so the students can participate in scenarios where they can get a stronger learning platform. And sometimes we forget to recognize those closest to us. This includes many of you in this group, some who could not make it. We would like to recognize as the spouses, significant others, parents, grandchildren, and other people important to the graduating class who have provided huge support and inspiration to their respective student. This includes my wife, Danny, who's given me 110%, and even helped as a role player and evaluator for the physical readiness test. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. The Academy schedule demanded student attendance 5 days a week, normally 10 hours a day, and in some instances late into the night. Whether at the Academy on breaks, at home, or at their respective departments, the students had to make time to study, take tests, write reports, and prepare their uniform, just to start all over again the next day for 15 plus weeks. And by the end of the Academy, some would compare it to the movie Groundhog Day. And by the end of the Academy, I know they were all ready to change the channel. This dedication and perseverance took valuable time from their families and loved ones. You spouses, significant others, and friends picked up the slack and provided valuable support for the respective students' success. We owe you a big thank you. As the 16th class of the North Idaho College Basic Patrol Academy, Class N0117 has 13 students. 6 from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department, 3 from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, and 4 self-sponsored students. They have all performed very admirably. At the start of the academy, I assigned 1 student per week the opportunity to be officer in charge with an assistant leader as the class representative. Midway through the academy, the class elected a class president and vice president who then represented the class after everyone had a chance at a leadership role. The class elected Deputy Ashley Hutchinson of the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office as president and elected Officer Allison Yukich with the Coeur d'Alene Police Department as vice president. And everyone performed admirably and professionally in those leadership roles and represented their class well. Good job. Academically, the class average was a B, a solid B. Most impressive considering the amount of information they received each week and the fast-paced manner in which they had to retain it. Is learn it, test it, and move on to something else. Hopefully we get to retention. To the class of N0117, through over the 670 hours of online learning, in-class lecture, and practical instruction, you have absorbed a huge amount of information and taken all the tests to prove it. The scenario-based training days allowed you to put that knowledge to task, and you performed very admirably. You have been sprayed with OC, not their favorite portion. They've been tased, another fun one, and I apologize for laughing so hard at some of you. They've endured rain, sun, sleet, hail, and snow, all within an hour's time while they were out at the gun range. And you swam in 38-degree temperature water. Suffered scrapes, bruises, and sore muscles in physical fitness and defensive tactics. You endured a lot of PowerPoint lecture, took 12 written tests, were evaluated on those mini scenarios, and did too many burpees, wall balls, and box jumps to count. Not, again, another favorite of theirs. This took serious commitment on your part, and it is a significant accomplishment. You all should be proud of yourselves as I am of you. Thank you for your understanding and support when we had to change a schedule around at the last minute, or change locations, or change the day on a minute's notice. You always embrace those changes with a can-do attitude and a smile on your face, even as I laughed, admittedly, some harder than at others during the tasing, when you were getting sprayed or tased. I have watched as you have molded into a cohesive team that works well together. I encourage you to maintain that teamwork and friendships as you move into your new careers, a career you chose. You have chosen an honorable and proud profession. As you encounter and navigate through difficulties and hardships, and when you celebrate your many accomplishments, always remember why you chose this profession, even if you have to revisit that list we made in the first week of class. And remember, keep learning every day. Through various practices, the physical fitness program, and our standardized expectations, we have stressed the core values of the law enforcement profession. Those include, but are not limited to, professionalism, chain of command, integrity, respect, honesty, self-control, leadership, courage, and strength. But let us also not forget the compassion, empathy, and humility as you perform your duties to the best of your abilities. I admire your commitment and professionalism, and I appreciate your dedication to yourself, your classmates, your respective agency or future agency, and the community you serve. Congratulations on a job well done. At this time, we would ask President Hutchinson to give her President's Address.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of this class, I would like to start by welcoming and thanking each and every one of you who are here today and has supported us through the last 16 weeks, to include our department heads, families, instructors, and fellow officers. Coming into this academy, we had 13 distinct personalities, all that came together with different sets of strengths and characteristics. Characteristics such as confidence from Germain, resiliency from Ledbetter, and loyalty from Welch. Some characteristics stand out more sharply than others, such as when Yukich, the smallest officer in our class, used her determination to tackle Welch, the largest officer in our class, in defensive tactics. Wade brought a perceptive attitude each and every day, while Barraza remained adaptive no matter what situation he was faced with. Crawford, a self-sponsored student, was awarded for his drive by being hired by the Kellogg Police Department, which earned him the nickname Cornflake. Davis, better known as Dad, is our oldest and most experienced classmate. He portrayed humor and had an even-keeled demeanor, no matter how stressful the day became. Clausen showed his dedication not only through his actions every day, but also by the flawless maintenance of his glorious mustache. Other characteristics include Skiles's assertiveness, Hutchison's professional demeanor and fearlessness, and Weber's respectful nature, not only to her classmates, but to our instructors as well. The bitter truth is that in today's world, law enforcement officers are faced with an even greater challenge than our country has ever seen before. On a daily basis, law enforcement officers are targets and criminals are becoming more ruthless. On TV, we see that ambushes are more common in today's world, and that the career field we have chosen is more violent than ever. As individuals, the previously mentioned character strengths will help each and every one of us. The different strengths amongst law enforcement officers are what makes a team resilient and successful. This academy has provided the building blocks for the rest of our careers and has educated us in various ways to combat these situations, but it's just the beginning of the extensive training we have before us. As we progress throughout the academy, we were presented with a variety of classes, scenarios, and difficult tasks that challenge these strengths. We were taught how to drive again in EVOC, where we lost complete control and experienced motion sickness at its finest, but it was definitely a fun week. We learned how to fingerprint and just how big of a mess fingerprint powder really is. Officer Hodal instructed us on the most important four-letter word to de-escalate a situation. Officer Wade taught us that keeping your face in the water bucket after OC does not help, and the only remedy is to sit in the car with the air conditioning on. Lieutenant Miller taught us that TASER is a very effective tool. Our physical training has been challenging, but has bonded this class in a way we will never forget. Officer Cohen taught us that fatigue is natural and tired is a state of mind. Officers Mongan and Tufford pushed us beyond our limits and proved to us that our capabilities were greater than we originally believed. All in all, whether we were sitting in class and suffering through the riveting death by PowerPoints of Law Week or the freezing cold water during the water rescue class, we have learned to embrace the suck and persevere. I would like to thank everyone who is here today to support each and every one of us. I know that for many of you, this journey has been just as trying as it has been for us as students. Having long hours at class and returning home with more homework and studying, we have not been available to help much with chores around the house and weren't always available to make it to family events. So thank you to each and every one of you who has helped pick up the extra slack for us and sacrificed just as much as we have to start this new career in law enforcement. On behalf of this class, I would also like to thank Director Swanson and Gabe for keeping us all in line and for all the hard work you both have dedicated to our careers and our education. The hours you both put in were above and beyond and far more than we could have ever asked for. To show our appreciation, we would like to present each of you with a gift. As we continue on in our training in this new path in our lives, I know that all of us are united in the hope to serve you and the rest of our community with the same dedication, commitment, and the same passion we feel today. I ask that you pray for each and every one of us as we continue in this career field for several years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, I'd like to invite Division Chair Sue Shibley to join me in presenting the class awards. The first award that we give out is the Top Physical Fitness Award. The students are required to complete the physical readiness test upon entry into the academy, midway through the academy, and upon completion of the academy. This award is presented to the student with the highest combined score in the Idaho Post Physical Readiness Test. The test consists of 5 events: a vertical jump, the most sit-ups that can be accomplished in 1 minute, the most push-ups that can be completed, a 300-meter run, and a 1.5-mile run. We present this award to Gabriel Hutchison. With the most improved physical fitness. During the course of the academy, the students are required to participate in a structured and rigorous physical training program. This award is presented to the student who, in part because of the physical training program, most improved his or her overall physical readiness test score from the first time to the last time. This academy, we had a tie. They both improved their respective overall scores by 30 points. We present this award to Marquesa Ledbetter. And Matt Crawford. Well done. Outstanding academics. This award is presented to the student with the highest overall grade point average for the written tests. The grade point average includes all written tests for firearms, emergency vehicle operations, computer-based training, Law Week, weekly exams, and the final exam for a total of 1,700 points available. We present this award to Ryan Germain. Excuse me. The Outstanding Professional Award. This award is presented to the student selected by his or her peers as the individual they would most want to work with in law enforcement. The recipient exemplifies those characteristics that are in keeping with the finest traditions of the law enforcement profession, including knowledge, maturity, ability, leadership, integrity, judgment, and attitude. The students vote by secret ballot for the recipient. The class presents this award to Craig Wade. I skipped one. The Top Gun Award is presented to the student with the highest combined score in the Idaho Post handgun, shotgun, and rifle courses. We present this award to Ryan Germain. The top overall student. This award is presented to the student whose combined scores in academics, physical fitness, firearms, report writing, and practical exercises placed him or her at the top of the class. We present this award to Ryan Germain. Yes, thank you. All right, the Honorable Judge Clark Peterson has accepted our invitation to administer the post-adopted law enforcement code of ethics to the class. Judge Peterson graduated from Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, where he was a member of and editor of the Loyola Law Review. He began his career with the Law Enforcement District Attorney's Office in Compton, California. He later moved to Las Vegas, where he was a Chief Deputy District Attorney in the Clark County District Attorney's Office. In addition to being a team chief, Judge Peterson was a member of the Sex Crimes Unit and the Capital Case Coordinator handling all death penalty matters in Las Vegas. Upon moving to Coeur d'Alene, Judge Peterson became a partner at Amendola and Doty. Since his appointment, Judge Peterson was recognized by the IACDL 2012 Statewide Award for Judicial Excellence. Among his other duties, Judge Peterson runs the Kootenai County Domestic Violence Court. Judge Peterson is the point judge for child protection and juvenile cases, a member of the Criminal Rules Committee. He has served as adjunct faculty at the National Judicial College, where he trains other judges around the country on the rules of evidence, and he handles weekend probable cause duties reviewing law enforcement arrests made over the weekend. In his spare time, Judge Peterson is a father to his daughter, Emily, officiates high school basketball, and lectures at St. Thomas Catholic Church. Please welcome Judge Peterson to administer the oath.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to be here, and if you've looked at the program, you see that it says Judge Eckhart, and unfortunately she wasn't able to be here today. I'm happy to fill in for her. We have many difficult duties as judges, but this is one of our happy duties, and that is administering the law enforcement oath to new graduates. So I'm going to start by doing that. Class, I just want to say on behalf of the courts of the state of Idaho and the judges, specifically the 1st Judicial District, I want to be the first to congratulate you on your graduation, and I look forward to seeing you, all of you, serving our community and appearing before me and my fellow judges. So congratulations. Also, as filling in for Judge Eckhart, she asked me to express to you personally as well her congratulations and her gratitude for your willingness to serve as law enforcement officers. So on her behalf as well, thank you very much. I want to thank the directors of Post and NIC President McLennan, Vice President Burns, Dean Silvas, Division Chair Shibley, of course, Coordinator Swanson. Thank the chiefs and the various agencies that are present here. I want to make sure those of you who are in the crowd who may not understand this, it's great that we have a local post academy. It used to be that our law enforcement officers were trained down in Meridian. And while that's a phenomenal program, I am so glad that we have a local academy that trains our police officers. So our local officers are trained here in our community. I think that's great. It's a credit to NIC to run the program, to post, to be flexible enough to permit it, and for all the persons who work together to make that happen. It's just wonderful, I think, that we can train officers here in the very community that they'll be protecting and serving. So thank you. And for those of you who didn't know that, I want to inform you just how unusual but excellent this is. I also want to thank and congratulate the parents and families and loved ones of all of our graduates. And I started by saying thank, because that's really important. We as judges understand the stress that a law enforcement career has on family members. And please know that every one of the judges and everyone in the judicial system, we pray for and hope you all come home safe to your families and loved ones every night. And I say thank you again because this is a dangerous job. The class president commented on it, and I'm sure it's not lost on anyone that we're very near to the anniversary of Officer Moore. Greg was a personal friend of mine. His wife, ex-wife and I were law partners. His oldest son and my daughter are the same age. They played together. So I understand very well the impact and the danger that this chosen profession has. And I want to thank you folks for being the type of people that raise men and women who are willing to be first responders. Because it takes a very special kind of person to be a first responder. And I'm going to come out right and say it, I'm not sure that I have it in me. It takes a very special kind of person. And I remember, and I tell this story sometimes, where I first realized the way that's exhibited. And I was watching the videotape of the Boston Marathon bombing. Many of us watched that video, I'm sure. And in the chaos and smoke and confusion, people running hither and yon, there was a small handful of people that were running towards the danger. And I said, that's it right there. There are a handful of people in our society who are willing to run towards the danger. And folks, thank you for being willing to serve in that capacity. And thanks to you folks for raising and loving and supporting the people who are willing to do that. That is quite a thing, and I hope you folks all feel great pride in the fact that you have loved and supported and raised persons who are willing to serve our community in that role. So thank you. I have 3 things I want to tell you folks today that I hope will be helpful going forward in your careers. So I'm going to direct most of these comments to you. Then when we're done, I'll administer the oath to you. The first is, please remember what POST stands for. It's easy to think POST means Police Officer Standards and Training. It doesn't. It means Peace Officer Standards and Training. And I want you to remember that word, because they always play a little video at these things at the end with the driving stuff and the shooting stuff. And, that's the fun stuff. Who's kidding who? Apprehending suspects, the car driving the shooting, maybe getting tased. Isn't that fun? But it's easy to focus on sort of the high-profile, fun things about law enforcement, which is apprehending the suspect. I want to give you maybe a more experienced perspective. Just remember that when you're apprehending the suspect, you aren't really just enforcing the law. You are actually the living embodiment of the restoration of peace to the community. And while it may seem like your job is to respond to the scene and assist a victim and apprehend a suspect, what you're actually doing is really something a lot more. And it has to do with people who you're not even probably going to interact with. Because whenever there's a disturbance or crime or a problem, there's unease by those that are around. And behind each closed window or drawn curtain is a citizen that's concerned or worried. And you may never interact with that person. But please understand that behind those windows are thankful citizens. They are happy that you are responding. They're happy that you're here and you have matters under control, and that peace has been restored to the community by your appearance and your arrival. And I'm saying that because they may never express that to you. So that's why I'm telling you. Why do I mention this? Because this job can sometimes wear you down. It can feel like no one appreciates you. But just remember those closed windows when you respond to a scene. And when that light switch goes off, it goes off because people now can sleep easier because you are there. So even though that job may seem like apprehending a suspect, you're actually doing something much, much greater, and something our community needs and greatly appreciates. The second thing I want to tell you is please respect the integrity of the uniform that you are wearing. It is one of the most important and impressive things is to see an experienced officer in their dress uniform take the witness stand in a trial. It is incredibly impressive. And you need to understand that you stand on the shoulders of giants, of those people who have come before you, a long blue line, who have carried this tradition of service and law enforcement, of honor and integrity, and they've carried it unsullied. And I ask you, please, respect and honor the courageous service of those persons who came before you, and keep that integrity without stain, and pass it on to the next group of officers who come after you. And this isn't just high-minded talk. This is real. And I'll give you an example. I don't know if she's here today, but I had a trooper testify before me yesterday. A car stop had been challenged by lawyers, and we had a hearing to determine whether that was valid or not, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the trooper testified, and at the end of my comments, when I denied the motion, I commented that in my experience, this was a trooper who I had seen countless times, who has outstanding honor and ethics and integrity, and that I took that into account in making my decision. This wasn't the type of officer who shaded their testimony to preserve a conviction. It was an officer with outstanding integrity, and that was deserving of recognition by the court, and I gave it recognition. So it matters. It matters not only personally, but it matters to the system that you're a part of and to our community. The third thing I want to tell you is that in your career in law enforcement, you will come into contact with many unsavory individuals. And I don't mean suspects, I mean lawyers and judges. And the reason I mention that is because it's easy to get frustrated with those people. And I understand that. And here's why. Just like I mentioned that motion where Trooper Branch testified and I commented on her excellence, our process and job is to review your actions. And please understand that that is inherently unfair to you. And don't take it personally. And the sooner you learn not to take it personally, the better. Because we review the decisions you make in a split second for hours. The decisions you make in the dark of night, we review in a well-lit courtroom. The decision you make with a gun in your hand, I make with a pen in my hand. And we understand that. The decisions you make with danger on all sides, we review in the safety, frankly, that you provide. But it's our constitutional duty to review those actions. And it is an inherently American process. So the very thing that you're protecting are the rights that we're discussing now. And that is the review of your actions, which can seem unfair to you, is not personal. But it's upholding the very American ideals that we all hold so dearly. So I'll repeat, we all respect you, and we want very much for you to come home safely. And in closing, congratulations on your graduation. May you have long and safe careers. Thank you for your willingness to serve our community. Thank you for having me address you. And ordinarily, I would say good luck to you and your loved ones and Godspeed. But in honor of today, I think I'll say, class, N0117. May the force be with you. Graduates, if you will all please stand, I'll read to you the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, and then at the end, I will have you raise your hand and I will swear you to that code. I'll read it to you now. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve the community, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, and will behave in a manner that does not bring discredit to me or my agency. I will maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule. I'll develop self-restraint and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed, in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the law and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, political beliefs, aspirations, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and the relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of law enforcement service. I will never engage in acts of corruption or bribery, nor will I condone such acts by other law enforcement officers. I will cooperate with all legally authorized agencies and their representatives in the pursuit of justice. I know that I alone am responsible for my own standard of professional performance and will take every reasonable opportunity to enhance and improve my level of knowledge and competence. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please face me and raise your right hand to be sworn. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the State of Idaho, and the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics. I will faithfully discharge my duties as a peace officer of the State of Idaho and the political entity I represent according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Thank you. You may be seated, and congratulations.
At this time, we're going to present the graduation certificates. I would ask Chief White from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department come up to present his officers. Lucas Brazo. He also received the Marksman for the Pistol Short course and Marksman for the Patrol Rifle course. Ryan Germain. And he, for the Pistol Short course, the Possible Club, which was 100%, and the Patrol Rifle Club, Possible Club. Patrol Rifle Possible Club, 100%. Gabriel Hutchison. For the Pistol Short Course Sharpshooter and Patrol Rifle Possible Club. Allison Yukich. Pistol Short Course Marksman, Patrol Rifle Sharpshooter. Craig Wade. Pistol Short Course Marksman, Patrol Rifle Sharpshooter. Jesse Welch. Pistol Short Course Sharpshooter, Patrol Rifle Possible Club. Ask Major Edmondson to come up for the Sheriff's Office, Kootenai County. Brett Clausen. Pistol Short Course Sharpshooter, Patrol Rifle Sharpshooter. Robert Davis. Ashley Hutchinson. Pistol Short Course Sharpshooter, Patrol Rifle Marksman. At this time, I'll ask Dean Silvas, North Idaho College, to come up to present the self-sponsored students. Thank you. This should be in the order right now. Matt Crawford. Pistol Short Course Sharpshooter, Patrol Rifle Sharpshooter. Marquesa Ledbetter. Sam Skiles. Excuse me. Pistol Short Course Marksman, Patrol Rifle Possible Club. Allison Weber. Patrol Rifle Marksman. Class, move to the front of the stage.
Class, attention. Right, face. Forward, march. Left, right. Left, right, left. Left, right. Left, right, left. Left, right. Left, right, left. Left, right. Left, Face.
For the past few months, members of this class have learned the skills required to effectively do the job of a police officer. They master defensive and arrest tactics, investigation procedures, driving and firearms, criminal law and traffic code, and other objective-driven topics. Frankly, these are all topics that can be learned by anyone. However, it takes a special type of person to be a police officer. To be a police officer requires resolute character, humble professionalism, unflinching integrity, unbroken courage, and steadfast compassion. The difference between the average person who has acquired the knowledge taught in the academy and an officer is in how and when we apply those skills and our purpose in doing so. That is why this ceremony is important. In a few minutes, I will ask friends and family to the stage to pin the badge on our new officers' chests. The significance of this act is to remind the officer every day when he or she dons the uniform that they stand for something important. They are charged with protecting the community, their new extended family in blue, and those they love the most, with the expectation that with the special remembrance of getting the badge pinned upon their chest by someone dear to them, the badge is that much harder to tarnish, and they would protect the community just as they would their family. The badge itself stands for honor and pride, dedication and bravery, courage and compassion, service and integrity. The badge represents not just our calling, but it is a constant reminder of the people we protect and serve. It is recognition of the nobility of policing and reverence to our roles as guardians of our communities. And it is an acknowledgement of those who have come before us, who have shown compassion and bravery, been bloodied, cried, and sometimes died upholding the honor behind that badge. It is more than a piece of metal on our chest. It represents our dedication to professional police service and that we stand for something greater than ourselves. Please come forward and present your officer with his or her badge at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to present to you the North Idaho College Post Basic Patrol Academy Class N1007. Class, return to your seats.
Stand. Face. Forward. March. Left, right. Left, right, left. Left, right. Left, 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 right. Left, right, left. Left, right. Left, left, right. Face.
Class, sit. Not sure else how to do it. Please welcome Reverend Mark McWhorter, did it again, Post Falls Police Department Chaplain, for the closing benediction.
At the request of this class, I've been asked to lead us in a moment of silence on the eve of the loss of Sergeant Greg Moore's 2-year anniversary. So would you bow with me? Let's have that moment of silence, and then I will close our time with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we approach your throne on this afternoon with celebration in our hearts for what these students have accomplished, but also a sense of soberness for what they are about to enter into. And we can't help but reflect on the life of Greg Moore and the sacrifices that he made for this community in the profession which you called him to. And so, God, as we celebrate this graduation, we also pray for your protection upon these graduates and their families in the respective profession that they have chosen. God, would you watch over them? You call us in your word to be peacemakers who sow in peace and reap a harvest of righteousness. God, would you help these men and women to be peacemakers? You've also said that there are those who bear the sword, that bear the sword for wrath, because there is an occasion for wrath in order to protect peace. And so when these men and women are called to take up their sword and to be the agents of wrath, God, would you give them wisdom, discernment, and still a desire to work toward peace? We are grateful for them. We are grateful for the accomplishments that they have endured leading up to today and the opportunity to celebrate what they are about to enter into, God. But we do ask that you would give them protection, peace, wisdom, discernment, that you would bring good rest to their families while they are on their shift, Father, and at the end of every shift, Father, would you bring them home safely. We celebrate alongside them, and we are grateful for them. We pray this all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Please stand for the retrieval of colors.
Permission to retire the colors.
Yes.
Retire the colors. Detail. Halt. Ready. Pace. Very zen. Out. Order. As you were. Order. On. Retreat. Colors. Left. Pace. Forward. Huh.
Thank you if you're coming. Please join us in the lobby to meet with the graduates and have some refreshments. 55 minutes.